On the mysterious death of Stephen Smith. The 19-year-old was found dead, lying in the middle of a road not far from the Murdaugh family property in South Carolina. And now Smith's former classmate, Buster Murdaugh, is breaking his silence after much public speculation about his possible connection to Smith's death. Buster, who is Alex Murdaugh's only living son, now releasing a statement denying any involvement and calling the rumors baseless. Buster's statement released the same morning South Carolina law firm Bland Richter announcing representation for Sandy Smith, vowing to help find out what led to her son's tragic death. Mandy Powers Norrell is an attorney and former legislator in South Carolina, joins us live. Mandy, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Bland Richter has represented several victims linked to the Murdaughs, including the former housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield. What does this mean for the Stephen Smith case, potentially?
Well, thank you for having me. I am excited for Sandy Smith to have such adamant representation for her pursuit of justice. She has waited for justice since 2015 in the death of her son, and I know Eric Bland. I know that he and his partner Ronnie Richter. I know they will work very hard to help her get some answers.
So Buster in this statement is calling his connection to Smith's death, quote, baseless rumors. But is that accurate, Mandy? Because isn't it true that his name and the Murdaugh family name was mentioned numerous times during the initial investigation when the death happened in 2015?
I do believe that's true. I do believe that that these are, rumors at this point and nothing more than rumors. If they were more than rumors, Buster would have been charged in the death of Stephen Smith. I think a lot of people are having trouble holding two truths at the same time. Buster is a victim of murder, the murder of his brother and his mother. He deserves justice, privacy, and to be free from harassment. Sandy Smith is a victim of an unsolved murder of her son. She deserves justice, privacy, and to be free from harassment. And I think both are true, and one does not negate the other.
Absolutely. Two things can certainly be true at the same time. Is it possible this statement could in any way later hurt Buster down the road?
I don't see it hurting him. I think what he's saying, he's been silent for a really long time. I think his silence has emboldened people to go with the rumors that are mentioned in the investigation file, and they have not been, held back. There's been no chilling effect. I hope that his statement will cause people to say, okay, yeah, now we really need to get to the truth of it. If it leads to him or to anybody else, that justice needs to be served, and the truth needs to be what prevails in this.
And let's focus in on the truth of it. His death was ruled a hit and run, although not all medical experts agree. His own mother calls it suspicious. Here's what lawyer Eric Bland had to say earlier today about this investigation.
Fresh set of eyes, a new autopsy may yield a different conclusion, that Stephen was not killed on Sandy Run Road in Bamberg County, that maybe he was killed somewhere else. We think that he did not die on that road that fateful night. We think that there was other reasons and other causes that caused his death.
All right, so we heard many there from the attorney, but let's say even if it was a hit and run, that does mean someone is responsible for Stephen's death and has gone unpunished for years at this point.
And I think no matter what, someone is responsible for Stephen Smith's death. It looks like it was not a hit and run. There were no car parts there. There were no, he had his shoes on. It looks very much, and even the investigators at the time took issue with the medical examiner's report that it was a hit and run. This did not look like a hit and run, and Sandy Smith has waited far too long to get answers. And hopefully with the exhumation of his body, she can at least find out how he died. Somebody knows. Right. And I really want to put it out there. Whoever knows, there's probably more than one person. The first one to get to law enforcement and tell their story is probably going to be the one who gets the deal. So anybody who knows and their buddy also knows, they better get to law enforcement first.
That's a very good point there. Mandy Powers Norrell, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.